Hello everyone, it's Gina. Welcome to my video. A couple of days ago, one of my subscribers had left me a comment, and it was a comment on a video that I had done a good year ago. And she indicated that I mentioned that I would do a video showing the different closure ideas. And if I said that, I totally forgot, so my apologies. This video is like a year late. But she said that, and I got right to work. And so here it is. Barbara, thank you for your comment, and this video is for you. Hopefully the rest of you will find value in it as well. So I made these books. There's one or two that had already been made, but I try to make these books real quick just to try different and add different closures to them. So let me show you what I've got. I've got, I believe, 9 different ones. I was trying really hard for an even 10, but I kind of pooped out at 9. But I've got 9, and then I have 3 bonus ones, and they're really just kind of variations. That's why I don't count them. But there are 9 different types of closures. So let's go through them. Okay, here's the first one. And it's probably one of the simplest to do. All it is I take a piece of string and I glued it down. And then I glued a button on top of the string. Okay. And the glue I used, I believe I used Fabri-Tac. Yeah, I believe I used Fabri-Tac. And what you do is you just take your string and you just wind it around and it holds it closed. Easy peasy. You can go this way with your string, or or this way, whatever way you want. That's up to you. But that's super fast, super easy, and it's quick for the person who's using the little pad. Okay. So there's one. Okay, here's 2, and all it is, I glued a piece of ribbon. And I glued it on the inside of the front page, and I glued it on the spine. Okay, this part is still open. Okay, and all you do is, you're using your little pad and you're ready to close it, and you just take it and slide it in like this and pull it down. And there you go. That's cute and easy as well. And that's number 2. Sorry, jumping back to number 1. This is just a variation. This is actually not part of my 3 extras. This is one I had done last year as well. It's the same premise. It's just using a little bell. So just to show you that you can use a button, you can use, a bell. So there's a variety of things that you can use. It does not have to be a button. Okay, back to number 3. This is number 3. Now this is also a takeoff on one I had done in a previous video, and let me show you. And it's done with a magnet. So here's one that I had made, again last year. And this one folds over, which worked really well with the magnet. But what if you have one that doesn't fold over? What do you do? Well, you can still make a closure using a magnet. And I used that same ribbon, and here's what I did. I just kind of cut it at an angle so that it would just be kind of interesting to look at, and I glued it down on the back. Again, I used Fabri-Tac. And I put one piece of the magnet here and one piece on my ribbon. And there you go. Now, the magnet that I used, let me show you what that looks like. Here you go. My husband actually had these for something that he was doing, and he let me have some a while back. But these magnets this magnet is really thin. So if you have a whole big bulky book, you might want to get one a little heavier than this. As you can see, it's like super thin, but works perfectly for a little book like this. But it's just sticky on the back. You just peel it and stick it. I did add a little bit of, I probably used my art glitter glue. I just put a little bit on the back just to make sure, and then I stuck it down. Actually, I took a piece, I cut it, and then I cut it in half. As you can see, pieces really thin, see? Yep, I cut a piece and then cut that in half, and I used it to make the closure. There you go. That's number 3. Okay, number 4. I just took some fabric and made kind of a, it's almost similar to a belly band. I don't know what you call these that go all the way around. But I used these squares, and you can use any kind of piece of cloth. You don't have to, do what I did. But I took one square, and I took my pinking shears, and I just cut several strips and glued them together. I just thought that would be kind of fun and interesting. Okay, and then I picked one spot and I glued a little flower, and it just wraps around. Like this. There we go. Now you can also do this with paper. It doesn't have to be fabric. Same thing with the magnet. You could do this out of a nice piece of cardstock. Maybe if you have some pretty paper that's heavy, you can do the same thing with a piece of heavy cardstock. Works just as well as it does with fabric. So either way. And this is number 4. Okay, this one, I almost got myself into a mess. It took me a little while to figure out what I wanted to do. And actually, I think I would probably take this a step further, and I'll show you what I mean. So I put 4 eyelets, okay? And I used some jute and just tied a knot on one end. Now I think what I would do is I would glue, I think I want to go ahead and adhere this knot to the eyelet in the back so that it, you don't lose the string. You can just pull it out and then it'll still be here, okay? But what you do is you have 4 eyelets, and you just take a piece of jute or a piece of string, tie a knot in it, and like I said, you probably should glue that down so you don't have to worry about losing them. And you just feed it through to the front. Okay, like this. And you just tie it in a bow. A bow or a knot. I think I had it as a knot. Whoops. Come on, chunky fingers. There we go. And there you go. I thought that was really cute. That's number 5. All right, number 6 was easy because it was already made. I don't know if you remember this. This was made from a prior video, and it's an altered paper clip. So especially if you have a small booklet, you just take your paper clip and clip it right on, and it holds it closed. I like this idea too because when people take it off, they can always clip it to the top, or clip it to the back, and that way they don't lose it. And when they're ready to close it, they just put it on like that. And that's idea number 6. This one, I'll be honest, it didn't kind of work out the way I had hoped it would. My husband and I were at Walmart, and so I grabbed, let's see, 4, 6, and 8 millimeter jump rings. I don't have any of these. I'm not a jewelry maker. And then grabbed a lobster clasp. So I thought, oh, that would be a really cool way to close a journal. And so clearly I don't need this many links. I had meant for it to be much shorter. However, the lobster clasp that I got, this is a 7 by 12 millimeter. It just wasn't quite big enough to be able to close this. So all you have to do to fix it is I would just need to get a larger lobster clasp, and then it would be great. Because ideally you could put one ring in, attach your clasp, and then you don't need any more rings. It could just close and you could clasp it right onto this top eyelet. But it also works too if you have a big thick book. As you can see, you can add these jump rings on, and that way, if you have a big book, you could still use this idea. Actually, it would be better for a larger book than it is for the small one. I had a hard time with my big chubby fingers trying to get it opened and closed. So I just have one eyelet on each side. Now, again, you could take the one eyelet, you could string some jute or wire and tie a bow or knot and use it that way too. So it's another way to use the eyelet. I thought that was really cute. Would be much cuter to me and much more functional if it was on a larger book. But this is idea number 7. Okay, idea number 8 is from a prior video. This one was already made, that's why it's a different size. But all I did was take 2 brads and stick the brads in and take a little bit of string, and I tied a knot under the back brad and reached around and kind of did the same thing. It's the same similar concept as with the button, except I used 2 brads. So there you go. That's idea number 8. And idea number 9, this is a little book that I had made. Trying to practice and prepare for a video, so I might do a video on this style sometime in the future. But you just use some of this elastic ribbon, and I just glued it together, put a pretty flower on top. As you can see, this one was leaning more toward Christmas, and then just pull it around like that. So that is idea number 9. Now, for my 3 variations, they're all slightly different, but it's basically, I thought, a variation of this where you're using a ribbon to go around. It's just a different way. Come here. It's just a different way to, to do the ribbon. This one, I just stapled on. I just did 2 staples wide. I left a space in the middle for my ribbon and I stapled it. And then I just tied a bow. So this way the string stays on, and when you're done, you just tie a little bow, or a knot. You can always do a knot, but I tried to make my string long enough to do a bow. You can always do a 1-loop bow. I always think that's cute too. Okay, and that's actually what I did here, is a 1-loop bow. This one I had made before I started doing this project, and it was my first trial sewing. I've never sewed a little booklet before. Isn't that amazing? I either glue or I staple. Oh no, I think I may have put a knot in here. Oh, there we go. But I already had the blue thread, and I had double knotted it here. And so I looked down and I could see a space in between where I had made my double knot. So I just, I cut another piece of the string, and I threaded it through my where I had made the double knot, and I tightened it real tight, and I added a little bit of glue. So yeah, it's not going anywhere. Then I just took it and I did the same thing. And I just did a 1 bow knot. There you go. Like that. Okay, now my last, where's my other ones? My last variation is this. It's kind of like the belly band, except I took a brad and I closed it. I just put it through both ends and did it that way. Now you just slip it off over the top like this. I guess when you're using it, well, see, you can't use it that way. I prefer ones that are stuck to the booklet, simply because you don't have to worry about losing this piece. You put it down, or you have to hold it in your hand while you're taking a note, and it's very cute. But to me, I prefer, if it were me buying this, I would prefer a clasp or some type of closure that was adhered to my booklet, simply because I know me and I'll lose this piece. Again, that's just personal preference. That's just me. But this was another variation as a way to have a closure. And I thought it was cute. All right, so there you go. Those are my ideas for closures. I hope, Barbara, that you enjoyed this video, and I hope everyone else did as well. Let me know by giving me that thumbs up that you did find value in this video. If you did find value, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button. And like Barbara, leave a comment, because we forget things. We say things in videos. And creators, you know, you just kind of get rolling, and the next thing you know, you're on to the next idea and you totally forget. So please feel free to say, hey, you'd mentioned this. Did you ever do a video on that? And if I haven't, then I will do my best to get right on it. I love hearing from you. So let me know which was your favorite closure, or which one was one you'd never heard of before. That would be great. I'd love to know. All right. Well, that's going to be it for this one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.